the annual conference of the Mississippi Municipal League. Our broadcast, of course, sponsored by Raymond James Financial and Covington County Hospital. We welcome now Lindsey Rae, Managing Director of Public Finance for Raymond James. Lindsey, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
So tell us the services that Raymond James provides to the municipal and the county communities.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a public finance operation that is nationwide, and specifically in Mississippi. We work with all types of government entities and lots of cities that we're here today for the Municipal League. And the primary thing that we do is when a city, for example, needs to borrow money to repave streets, improve water and sewer infrastructure, purchase a building, improve lighting at their parks, all kinds of different uses. We really help strategize about the best way to finance those projects and then help ultimately bring the money to the table for that.
Does that typically include just the issuance of debt by the city, by the county?
Yes.
Would you guys underwrite that?
That's right. And it may be all different types of debt. It could be a short-term debt instrument or a longer-term bond issue, a TIF bond, but all different types of financing.
Are you seeing a lot of activity in that arena right now? Because I know almost all these cities and counties have got aging infrastructure that they need to upgrade or sometimes forklift replace.
That's a great question. So we saw a really big pause during COVID when people were a little concerned about what was going to happen with revenues in the future, and that was a huge time for refinancing debt because interest rates got so low.
Yeah.
So we were able to refinance and lock in low interest rates for most of the cities that had debt outstanding. But the new projects got put on the shelf to see where are things going to shake out, thinking maybe interest rates might come back down. But recently we've seen a lot of activity pick up because folks are saying, we've got these projects, they've got to be done. And the state has done a great job of providing some funding for that. So it helps make leveraging it. If you've got a grant or state funds for half your project and you only have to borrow the money for the other half, then you can really use your money goes a lot further. And the other thing we've seen is the Mississippi Infrastructure Modernization Act in 2018, where the cities get a revenue share from the internet sales and use tax diversions. That has gone a long way in providing a new revenue source as well. Yeah,
Mayor McAdams of Greenwood just discussed that, how valuable that has been to her city. So you guys work in, just looking at your presentation, you're working a lot of different areas where funding might be needed. General obligation bonds, health care, higher ed, housing, school districts, et cetera. I mean, that's the gambit of financing needs for a municipality, for a county.
That's right. And we even did, for the city of Greenville, we did an airport project. We financed the Gulfport Aquarium down here and some other, amphitheaters, all kinds of different projects across the state.
Yeah. So that's awesome. So what about this interest rate environment that you were just talking about, that how a lot of folks jumped on the bandwagon when we had very low interest rates a couple of years ago? That's sort of normalized, and, of course, they've increased substantially since then. How's that affecting your approach to financing?
Yeah, we're having to be a lot more thoughtful because the goal is to make, the resources of a city or entity go as far as possible.
Sure.
So we're taking a lot of thought into when is the right time to do a project. But the other thing we're considering is, even though interest rates are a little bit higher right now, inflation has been increasing at such a rapid pace that you're better to go ahead and do your project now and build it at current construction costs. Your only cost is not just your interest rate. You've also got your construction cost.
Sure.
So in a lot of cases, folks have chosen to move forward saying it's probably not going to get any less expensive to do this project.
Are you utilizing more longer-term maturities, perhaps, to try to get the interest rates down?
Yes. In this particular environment, if you were going to issue a 5-year maturity, typically a 5-year maturity would have a much lower interest rate than
Right.
a 30-year.
Right.
But right now, it's almost the same.
Yeah.
So you might as well go longer if it makes sense for the project, of course.
I got you. Yeah, that makes total sense. And, of course, the federal government's struggling with that same issue, as you know, in their financing of our budgetary needs. And I'm not sure the right decisions are being made there necessarily. That's for another day. But, Lindsey, we appreciate you coming on, and thanks for working with the cities and counties of the great state of Mississippi.
Yeah, well, it's a pleasure and honor, and appreciate you having me here today.
And thanks for sponsoring our remote broadcast today as well. Appreciate it. Lindsey Rae, Managing Director of Public Finance at Raymond James, has been our guest. We are at the top of the hour here on Middays. That means it's time for Fox News and SuperTalk News. In the next hour, we've got Robin McCrory, the mayor of Lexington, Billy Nowell, the mayor of Cleveland, and David Culpepper, Marketing Director, Covington County Hospital. We're coming right back.